Hello, we're April and Eric Perry from LearnDoBecome.com, and we're really excited and grateful to welcome you to this class that we're going to share with you today. We've actually taught this class live over 500 times over the past few years, and we've taken the very best class that we've recorded and want to share it with you today.
We're going to teach you 4 simple steps that you can use to get rid of any pile in your life, and we're going to help you to begin creating your very own Command Central, which will help you to get organized in every area of your life. Now, after the class, we will send you a copy of the slides and a transcript and links to help answer any further questions, and our team is standing by.
Yeah, we're excited and grateful to have you with us, and we'll see you on the inside.
See you there.
Welcome everyone to today's free training, How to Finally Stop Drowning in Piles. I'm April Perry, this is my husband Eric.
Hello everybody, welcome to our class today. We are so excited to have each of you with us.
And this is how you know you are in the right place. If right now your life consists of some kinds of piles, it could be piles of email, it could be piles of mental clutter, it could be rooms or boxes and papers, books, toys, clothes, all kinds of stuff. If that is you and you would like to get out, we have a simple step-by-step process to show you how to do that. Just taking you back in time, about 9 years ago, I was drowning, and I'd started out with my first Franklin planner when I was 13 years old. I went to Franklin seminars when I was in high school, and I went on to work at Franklin Covey when I was in college, and I felt that time management was just my thing. But then real life started. Eric and I got married, we started having children, we moved 9 times, we had student loans, we had a mortgage. There was just so much coming at us. And I was waking up every morning feeling overwhelmed from the start, working as hard as I could all day, and then going to bed feeling like a failure. Now, whether you have children or not, I want you to let me know just in the text chat if you can relate to what it feels like to not be able to breathe at the end of the day, and you wonder, why is everyone else doing just fine when I'm struggling? And you think, even if I had twice as much time tomorrow to clean, these piles just aren't going anywhere. Okay, we're seeing a whole lot of absolutely every day. That's my life. Yep, for sure. I mean, this is super common, but I want today to be the first day of your happy ending. And I don't say this in a bragging way, but I need to be clear that for the past 9 years since implementing what I'm about to show you today, I haven't had any lingering piles anywhere in my life, meaning the home is clean and organized generally, my desk is clear, my emails are at 0, my mind is calm, but I've been able to get more done than ever before. We've published 3 books and recorded hundreds of podcasts, launched an online business. We have time to hang out with our kids and do date nights and take a nap. And if you're wondering, okay, but how do you do that? How do you get more done and not have piles? I'm going to show you how it works. Now, the book Getting Things Done by David Allen, when combined with other books from others in the productivity space, helped me to finally get a lock on all those things that I've been studying and learning since I was young. And then I started teaching people a very simple, visual, step-by-step method. And then the emails just started pouring in, people saying, oh my goodness, this is changing my life. My piles are gone. My mind is calm. And then I knew that this was my mission, to help people who are drowning like I was to get out for good. Now, I'm not representing the David Allen Company, but they have invited me to be a GTD or Getting Things Done influencer because they know how much I adore them. Now, we're going to go into these before photos, and I want you to just let me know in the text chat if you have a mind that feels like this, or a place that looks like this, or both. So you can type M for mind and P for place or B for both. But just let me know, because some of you won't have visual clutter. So when you see this, you're thinking, I don't have a place that looks like that. But some of you will be like, both, mostly both, so a whole lot of that. And there's no shame. That simply means that you have not yet discovered the system that works with your busy life. But I want to show you the afters of the exact same rooms, okay? And I now want you to give me an adjective that comes to mind when you see clear space. How would you describe this? Is it, yeah, we're saying peaceful, clarity, serene, relaxed, neat, calm. This is what we're going for.
And we love these photos because they're real life situations, right? Real people live in these spaces. They're not perfectly organized. They're not Pinterest worthy, and they don't need to be. We actually love this kitchen desk nook on the left here the most, because despite not everything being perfectly put away or the binders being color coordinated, it's a system that's working really well for that individual and that family. They can find the materials, resources, or information when they need it. They can see their family values there on the left and be working toward them. And that's what we want to do today, is teach these very simple 4 steps to be able to help you develop a very simple mental and physical system to move your lives more in the direction you want.
Now, the main idea is that each of us needs a command central. This is what I call my machine. It's a system that holds all your papers, tasks, projects, ideas, receipts, all the things that are important for you to move your life forward.
Can I just ask the question in the text chat? Who in the class today would love to have a system like this, a command central or whatever you'd like to call it, but it's handling the details of your life beautifully, and it's easily built and even more easily maintained month after month, year after year? I think the obvious answer is all of us would love something like this or better than what we have. But if having this in place would be helpful, maybe just share in the text chat in a few words or a sentence, how would this be beneficial to you and those you love?
Yeah, we see a lot of enthusiasm and just thinking what would change. Just think for a moment. Would it save you an hour a day because now you're not digging through piles? Would it help your whole family to be on the same page? Now we're seeing game changer, saving time, right? Marriage saver, clear my mind, stop paying late fees. I'm a teacher, I got tons of stuff. Yes, I mean, this is what we're talking about. And I want to explain a little bit about why we have the piles in our lives. Now, all of us have stuff that comes in, and most of us have at least a filing cabinet or something to hold things that we want to archive, but typically there's nothing in the middle. So if you're not ready to handle something in 2 minutes or less, but you don't want to put it in a filing cabinet, then it just sits in something that looks like this, some kind of piles. Now, I grew up in a home that had tons of piles, and when people came over, we had to move the piles from the living room back to our beds, and then when we wanted to go to sleep at night, we had to move things off our beds back in the living room, and sometimes we would even cover our piles with blankets. In fact, I want you to type a B in the text chat if you've ever covered a pile with a blanket, or if you hid your piles somewhere else.
Yeah, or type in the most creative place you've ever hidden piles or mess when someone was coming over.
We see a whole lot of people, like, yes, using towels, putting them in the garage, the tub. You guys are so
Spare room, bathtub, in the oven. Holy cow.
dishwasher, car trunk, cabinets, tote. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. And the thing is, we do this because we don't want people to see all these piles, right? We feel a little overwhelmed. Okay, so what we do here at Learn to Become is we teach you what goes in the middle. So we still have stuff that comes into our lives, and we still have a filing cabinet, but now we have other places to put the things that are weighing on us so that we don't feel that consistent need to keep everything in limbo or hide things around the home. But I don't want you to feel overwhelmed by the image I'm showing you. I want you to imagine I just disassembled a different machine in front of you, like a car. You know that if you have an engine and 4 tires in your driveway, that's great, but it's not going to get you anywhere because you need the entire machine. It's the same thing when you put together all the parts of the command central. Like if right now you only have a calendar and a filing cabinet, but all this other stuff on the screen, you're thinking, well, I don't really have that. That is why you have piles. And I'm going to show you what it looks like when you learn how to build a command central. I mean, that room we looked at on the left, just tons of piles. Now look on the right. I mean, this is a simple, beautiful, easy place to be able to get work done. I'm going to show you just a few more photos because when people like you and me, who have a lot on their plates, a lot going on, learn how to build a command central, the piles simply go away. It's because our minds need to be organized. When our heads are organized and when we know where things are and where they're going, and we have things really just dialed in, that command central is what creates order throughout the rest of our lives. I mean, like, look at this room. It was just kind of chaos, right? A command central is built, and when that hub is organized, everything else just naturally stays clutter-free. I want you to know that even if you feel like, oh, I just have tons of stuff, or I'm too busy, or I have 3 jobs, or I've got a family, that we can show you how you can go from having big, huge piles and tons of papers to having clear space where you can work. And this would become your new normal. That's what we're so excited about. I mean, just look at this desk on the right. The feeling when you sit down to work is so different. And that's what we want you to know is totally possible for you. Now, in today's class, we're covering these 2 parts of the command central, the current projects list and the context-based next actions list. These 2 parts work somewhat independently, and you can get instant momentum doing them today. Then at the end of the class, if you're thinking, I love where this is going, where have you guys been all my life? I want to hire you to be my coaches. I want to learn how to build the rest of the command central. Then we'll show you how you can work with us if that's the best next step. But here's how you know if your head is doing the job of a command central. right now, do you have a constant voice that's in your head reminding you to do things all day long? So even while you're trying to watch this class, you're thinking, oh, I need to follow up with that client. I was going to run by the gym. I need to get some groceries. I need to make that phone call. There's a gift I need to order. I think I need to pay that bill. It's like constant. Okay, you're saying yes, yes, constant all the time. Exactly. Okay, so tell me scale of 1 to 10, 10 being awesome. How would you feel if that voice were eliminated for good? Because not a thing is slipping through the cracks. You're not letting anyone down. You're not behind. You're using exclamation marks, 10, 10, 10, great, millions, 11s. This is what I want you to know is your new possibility, okay? So here's our goals for today. Number 1, I just want you to renew hope and take a deep breath. If you are drowning right now, we're going to help you to get out. Today, we're going to identify one current project and one next action. Then we're going to learn to create context-based lists. I'll show you how that works with paper or digital lists. And then we're going to review the 4 decision-making criteria to help you get things done during a busy day. So now we're jumping into our 4 steps. And those of you who just joined us, we're so excited to be able to help you. All right, so step number 1 is where we're going to get our focus. If I came and sat down with each of you individually and we did an honest deep dive into the number of projects that you are working on right now, I guarantee we would come up with a list of 50 to 100 projects. And that's why you might feel like a pinball in a pinball machine. In fact, I want you to type PB for pinball in the chat if you can relate to that feeling of starting one thing and jumping to something else, and then you get a reminder to do something else, and then you're hungry, and then you get a phone call. Okay, so a whole lot of pinballs times 50, lots of people, times millions. Okay, super common. So the way that we solve that is we create a very simple list called our current projects list, and we organize it into these 3 categories. And I'll give you an example of each one. So a project for me is something like, establish a new exercise routine so I can just get moving every day. For my family, it's something like, we're going to organize the garage so we can find our sports equipment and we can park our cars in there. And then beyond means outside your personal and family life. So the dollar bill represents paid work, things like I'm putting together a new video series for my website, or the cupcake represents the volunteer work, like we're doing a fundraiser for the elementary school. But here's a few more details. First of all, a project, in order to earn a spot on this list, must have a beginning and an end, okay? What we're often tempted to do is put routines on this list. Now I'm going to pause for a second to show you an example of a routines list because these are going to be happening in the background. So here's a command central here and there's a routines list. We're zooming in for you. Daily, weekly, monthly, twice a year, yearly, categories down the side. The goal is to be able to have routines on autopilot, but we're going to focus today not on routines. Today we're focusing on the current projects list, okay? So your projects have a beginning and an end. This current projects list lasts for about 1 month, and ideally I recommend no more than 7 to 8 projects total across those 3 categories. Now, if 7 or 8 sounds like too many to you, 2 or 3 is fine. Like right now I have 5 total. If 7 or 8 doesn't sound like enough, you can add more later. Just don't start with 30, 40, 50 projects because that's what got you feeling overwhelmed from the start. But if you're wondering, well, where do I put all of those extra projects I'm not working on? I want you to brainstorm them and get them out of your head, but put them on a feeder list, okay, like this next in line list. That way you have a very focused list of 7 or 8 and everything else is waiting patiently for its turn.
Now, these last 2 bullet points of step 1 are the most important because like April said, most of us are trying to focus on 10, 20, 50 projects all at the same time. And it's the reason we're overwhelmed, stressed out, and burning out. If you had that many tabs open on an internet browser, it would definitely slow it down, if not shut it down. We're encouraging everyone in the class today to focus on no more than 8 projects at the same time. We're going to show you in steps 2 through 4 how to get them done quickly, easily, and well. We know that you and we have way more than 8 projects. We're going to show you how to focus on those 8 projects, getting them done very quickly, and then as they're done, you can replace them with those that are next in line from your future projects list. But we promise you're going to be getting more done every month and every year, and you're going to feel and be more productive than you've ever been. Then that last bullet point, the idea of brainstorming or mind sweeping all the projects you want to get to someday, let's get those out of our heads because they're taking up mental and emotional energy. We've found as we've taught this class over the years that most people have between 200 to 300 projects that they want to get to sometime in the future, but they're keeping them all in their heads. We encourage people to grab a few sheets of paper, a digital note. I like to use Excel or Evernote, whatever is most convenient to you. But over the next few days, start writing down all the projects you want to get to someday, and you can keep adding into them in the next weeks and months ahead. But then you can relax, knowing they're recorded somewhere. You don't have to think about them anymore. And then this future projects list is what you'll refer to a couple of times a month, scanning over it to identify which projects are the most essential or important, and they'll make those your current projects when the ones you're working on are done. I promise what's going to happen is that this list is going to shrink on paper rather than growing in your head, and you're going to be focusing on and achieving more and more of the projects that you value most.
Now, it doesn't matter where you write this list. It could be Excel, it could be a whiteboard, it could be paper like the one on the left, or digital like the one on the right. The point is that you have one list of your current projects, and when you look at the whole list, it looks manageable for the month. So under for me, things like apply for passports, right? Now under here, beyond, that includes your work projects, like finishing a website redesign or hiring a new assistant. Now remember, as you get these done, you can add more, but the goal is to have a very balanced list that looks really doable for that month. And right now we're going to practice. I want you just to think, what is one current project weighing on you the most? And then type it in the text chat when you've identified that. It might be your biggest pile, like, oh, it's my living room, or it's my desk, or it could be something like, I've got some back taxes I've got to take care of, or I'm looking to hire somebody, or I've got an event I need to plan, or I've got a dissertation. But what is that current project that every time you think about it, you feel like you need 100 hours because it's so overwhelming? But even if you had 100 hours, you'd probably procrastinate for 99 of them because you just don't know where to start. Okay, we're saying office, mail, receipts, photos, desks, updating a resume, basements, piles in the room, cabinetry. Okay, so much, right? But I love what you guys are doing. You're coming up with very specific projects that could be accomplished. We're going to take this project through the next 3 steps. I promise by the end of the class, you're going to feel excited about getting it done. But first, Eric has a little challenge for you.
So April calls it a challenge. I like to think of it more as a kindly or a loving invitation, because I don't want any of you guys to feel stressed out or worried, given all the projects and things that are on your mind. I love the list of projects that you guys are typing in here to the text chat. Obviously, these are things that are important to you, things that are weighing on you, that you'd love to get off your plate so you can move on to other things. So we're going to help you get this project done easily and well using steps 1 through 4. But my invitation is to help you pick a second project to take with us through the steps today, so we really learn how to use these steps in our lives going forward. But this second project is going to be one that's fun, enjoyable, and rewarding, something you look forward to getting to. I'd like to give everyone in the class today the chance to think about a little scenario to help you pick this second project. I'd love everyone today to imagine that you have this system, this command central, or whatever you'd like to call it. It's up and running, and it's handling the details of your life beautifully. You don't feel like you're constantly putting out wildfires, and nothing is falling through the cracks. Everything around you, all the piles and things, they're gone because everything has its place and everything is generally in it. Your email and physical inboxes are empty or down to 0 because you have a simple process a few times a week to keep it that way. Now, I realize that some of you out in the class right now are shaking your head saying they have no idea the piles and overwhelm and chaos that I'm dealing with at work and at home. There is no way this will work for me. For other people, sure, but not for me. And I promise we are not holding out a false hope or a pipe dream. It is possible for everyone in the class today, and we're going to show you how to do it. But here's my question. What would be one current project you would love to focus on and make some real progress on over the next month or so from the for me category? Now, this might be something you once loved to do earlier in life, but you've just set it aside because life's become overwhelming. Or maybe it's something new at this stage of your life that you'd love to dive into and try, like a new talent, a hobby, or a class. This should be something that's rejuvenating, revitalizing, and replenishing. Now, often when we teach this class, this will be where it slows down or starts off slow in the text chat, because honestly, people are thinking to themselves, I can't even remember how to think like that. I don't remember what I love to do anymore. Others of you might be thinking, there is no way I could possibly do that. My lists are too long. I have far too little time. There's no way I could make this happen. And still others of you might be thinking, well, wouldn't this be selfish of me? I have other people and their needs that rely on me and depend on me. I couldn't or shouldn't take time for myself. And I would suggest that far from being selfish, this is importantly self-replenishing. This For Me project doesn't have to take a lot of time. In fact, it can be the smallest project on your list, not taking a lot of time or energy, but it's going to become a great motivator to help you want to finish the other projects you pick each month. And I think the greatest impact is the example and influence it has on the people around you, coworkers, people in your community, but especially your family members. Maybe it's your spouse, maybe your children. They're going to see you taking time to invest in and develop yourself, to see the joy and fulfillment that comes from that. And they're going to see that example and they're going to follow it. So April, what are you saying?
We're seeing exercise, painting, drawing, writing, yoga, time with family, oil painting. I mean, this is where fun starts coming back. And I want you just thinking just for a moment, how would your life change just if both of these projects, the overwhelming one and the replenishing one, could get done quickly, easily, and well? I mean, just let me know in the text chat. Would your mood change? Would your confidence change? Would your energy change? Would you feel like a rock star? I mean, if you knew that every time you wrote down between 2 and 8 projects for the month, that all of them were going to get done consistently because that's just who you are. Yeah, we're seeing mood, confidence, help my anxiety, bring balance, scale my business. I'd relax. I'd focus on my kids. I feel like I was finally adulting. I love that. And the thing is, there's way more at stake here, as we can see, than just having a clean desk. So we're going to go into step 2 now, where I'm going to teach you how to never procrastinate again. And if you've been multitasking, I want you to come back. In fact, if you have been multitasking and I just caught you, I want you to type MT in the text chat. Let me know if you were. Okay.
Busted. Someone's out there horsing around doing other stuff.
There's somebody. Okay, but the reason I want you totally paying attention is because this step is going to help you to move from feeling unstuck. Now, the next action, when you first think about that, all right, I'm going to show you David Allen's official definition. It's the next specific, visible activity that will lead your chosen project toward completion. Now, when I first heard this, I thought, okay, take a bigger project, break it down to smaller steps. Like, we've kind of been hearing that our whole lives, so nothing really new there, but this is the key right here. It's to boil the next step all the way down so you couldn't possibly procrastinate, even if you tried. When you find the appropriate next action, your heart gets a little lift and you think, ooh, I can do that. Knowing what good procrastinators we are, we're going to boil this next step all the way down so that when we type it in the text chat, we almost feel silly because we think, oh, but this is so easy, all right? So we're going to work on identifying this very, very next action. But let me show you the 2 biggest mistakes that we make. Mistake number 1 is that we identify a sub-project instead of a next action. Now, let's say my project was to organize my office. And then I told you that my next action was my desk, because I hear that all the time, okay? But a desk is not a next action. A desk is a sub-project. But here's a next action. Set the timer for 10 minutes and clear this top left cubby. See how it's like 10 minutes, one little cubby. Like, I couldn't put that off even if I tried. Mistake number 2 is that the next action we identify can't be done until something else happens first. So I was teaching a class and this woman raised her hand and said, April, I have boxes of books in my living room and no one can come over. So I said, okay, well, what's your next action? She said, I think I just need to be ordering bookshelves for the office. Now that sounded logical because you think, okay, order bookshelves, assemble them, load them, recycle boxes, right? But she wasn't doing it. So I said, okay, if I brought you my computer right now, could you open it and order those bookshelves? And she thought for a second and said, well, first I need to measure my office walls to see which size I need to order. I said, okay, could you go right now and measure your office walls? And she said, well, I can't find my tape measure. And then everyone in the room started laughing because we get it. You go to do something and you think, but first I need to do. And then you abandon the project and you go get something like a little handful of chocolate chips. I want you to type CC in the text chat if you can relate to getting a handful of chocolate chips instead of moving forward on a project. Okay.
And no chocolatey, melty fingers on the keyboard if you do have chocolate chips in your hand.
Okay, so super common. So what we did is we crossed out order bookshelves and then we replaced it with this, which is to find, buy, or borrow a tape measure. Because that's a totally different task, but that tape measure is the key to getting the books out of the living room. Now, Eric has a fun Pez analogy that he's going to share.
So we were totally talking about chocolate chips. We got Nutella. We've got chocolate, like peanut butter dip chocolate chips, and now we're going to talk about Pez. So if we're throwing anybody off their diet regimen, we are so sorry. I'm going to go back and circle back real quick before I talk about Pez, though, to give a quick recap of step 1 for anyone who may have just joined us. So back in step 1, our objective was to help everyone in the class identify and focus on 8 or fewer current projects. To help us do that, we encourage you to do that brain sweep of all the projects and get them all out and get on a master projects list, a future projects list. Then you can scan over that list and identify the 8 or fewer projects that are most essential or most important right now. Now here in step 2, now that we've got our current projects identified, our objective in the class is to help each of us be able to find the very simplest, easiest action step to get each of the projects moving forward. And this is actually how we kill procrastination and get momentum rolling forward. And we just recommend a very simple brainstorming exercise at the beginning of each month. It only takes about 10 or 15 minutes, but I love to encourage people just to take a little bit of time, grab a sheet of paper, a digital note, whatever's most comfortable, but across the top of that sheet of paper, or here on the template we're providing, you can see that down the left side, you can write your projects there. But I love to encourage people across the top, write down each of the projects, and then underneath or next to each of those projects, take the 10 or 15 minutes to brainstorm out all the action steps you can think of that would be required to complete that project. Now, the list of action steps doesn't need to be complete. If you think of an additional step or 2 mid-month, you can always add them in later, and the list doesn't need to be in any prioritized or sequenced order. Just stream of consciousness, get the action steps you can think of out there. But doing this is going to help in 2 really important ways. One, it's going to help you realize how big or small your projects really are. If you're like me, and maybe others in the class today are, I tend to make out projects to be way more complicated than they really are in real life. But once you can see a project only has 7 steps or 5 steps, you're like, oh, that's not so bad. And I can now see my way forward on how to get it done. The second way that it helps is to be able to help you identify your very next action. As you scan over that list of steps under each project, the very simplest, easiest step is almost going to jump off the page at you. And quite often, that's going to be your very next action to get the project started. Now, the reason why the Pez is on the screen here is because I love to compare that sheet that we've made, that template, to Pez dispensers and Pez candy. I love to imagine that list of projects across the top or down the side, those are Pez dispensers, and the action steps that we've listed for each of the projects are like the candy that go into each of the Pez dispensers. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty good at loading a Pez dispenser with the candy, but I'm even better at emptying it out by just tipping the head back and taking out 1, maybe 2 pieces of candy, enjoying those, and then when they're gone, going back and getting the next 1 or 2 pieces of candy. And as we do this, little by little over time, all of a sudden the Pez dispenser is empty. We're going to show you in steps 3 and 4 how to work on our projects like that, focusing only on the very next action until before you know it, each of those Pez dispensers is empty, or by analogy, each of our projects is done, usually well before the end of the month. So let me just give you a little example of how this works in our lives. So for years, we'd wanted to take our family on a little trip up to Yosemite National Park. It's about 4 or 5 hours from where we live in Southern California, but I kept putting it off year after year because it just seemed overwhelming. The logistics, reservations, getting a family of 6 up there to do it. So I put it off year after year. But as our children get older and we realize that they'll be leaving home soon, we want to create more of these kind of experiences and memories for them. So I decided, okay, enough procrastinating. I'm going to step back and make Yosemite. About a year ago in June, I decided I was going to make Yosemite Family Vacation one of my 8 projects for the month. So I wrote it down as a project heading, made it one of the Pez dispensers, and brainstormed out the action steps. And it turns out there were only about 8 steps that were needed, not nearly as bad as I thought. And as I looked them over, I saw the very simplest action step was just to reach out to a few friends and ask their advice on where to go, what to do, and where to stay. Like, that's not hard. So I grabbed my phone, sent out a text message and a quick Facebook post, and step 1 was done. And then as their ideas and suggestions started coming in, I got excited. The adrenaline kicked in, and I ended up getting all 8 of those steps done in 2 days. 2 days time to plan a little trip we'd been putting off for years. And the best part of the story is that later that summer in August, we were able to take a beautiful, memorable, super inexpensive vacation, maybe one of the best that we've ever taken. And it was all because I'd taken a very simple project-based approach, identified the action steps, and focused on the very next action to make it happen.
All right, so next time you guys see a Pez display, I want you thinking of Eric and thinking of current projects and next actions. We're going to practice with 2 more, and then we're going to have you guys start sharing. So Eric and I needed a logo for our business, but we don't have graphic design skills, and I was feeling stressed. So we just sat down with markers. We said, okay, well, what could we do? We could take 10 minutes, sketch out some logo samples, and then we took a photo and emailed that to the person we'd hired to design our site, who then created the logo that we use and love today. Stephanie was one of our before and afters, and she said, oh, my room made me want to hyperventilate. But she said, I just set the timer for 15 minutes, went in and did what I could, and then I pulled out knowing I could come back because it was on my current projects list as one of my key projects for that month. So now I want you typing in the text chat, what is the very next action that you could do in 10 minutes or less to move your project forward? So if it's something like, okay, I've got a really messy desk, could you just pull the papers off the desk that need to be shredded or recycled? Or could you divide your papers into action versus non-action? Like action meaning I need to do something on them versus these are more file or reference. Or if it's something like your closet, could you say 10 minutes just clearing the top left shelf or just pulling the shoes out of the closet? Okay, we're seeing some awesome things coming in. Take down some boards, collect the bills that need to be paid. I love that. Grab a trash can, okay? Unload the dishwasher. You could do a quick outline of what it is that you want to get done for the project. So you could just brainstorm the project for 10 minutes. Clean a nightstand, clean the mail bucket, put those clean clothes away, open the office door. Okay, I love this. But when we can boil it all the way down to something that you could do in 10 minutes or less, make one phone call, have one conversation, send one email, our minds don't feel overwhelmed by that. And that's going to help us to move forward. Okay, so I love what you guys are doing there. We're going to now go into step 3, where we're going to talk about where we write down those next actions. Now, anything that is calendar specific, like, well, I've got a dentist appointment Tuesday at 3, or I have to pay that bill on Friday. I can't do it before, I can't do it after, it has to be on Friday. Anything that's going to be done on a certain day goes on your calendar. But then all of these other next actions that are flexible go on this list, where they're organized by where you are when you're getting them done. So it doesn't matter if it's for work or if it's for home or if it's for a friend or if it's for your children or if it's for you. If it happens while you're at your house, you put it in the home category. So I'll just give you some examples. So like under home would be something like 10 minutes clearing off the left side of the desk. Or errands. I'm going to go buy some new file folders. Or to discuss. I'm going to talk with my spouse about when we could do a camp out as a family. Or phone call. I'm going to call the real estate agent and find out what month we need to put our house up for sale. Or computer. I'm going to go print that PDF that I need in order to go get my passport. Now, if you would prefer to use a digital list, you are in luck because there are awesome people out there who have made it really easy for you. Pocket Informant, Cozy, Google Keep, To-Do, Trello, Asana. There's lots of options. Now, Eric and I use Evernote.com as our digital filing cabinet. It's amazing. It holds PDFs and audios, videos, text, and it even searches handwriting. So I can take pictures of my planner pages and search them by keyword. Now, Eric just uses a single note inside of Evernote where he has those same contexts that I had on my paper list, and he's going to share how he uses that.
Yeah, before I talk about Evernote, just make sure it's really clear to everyone in the class today that it doesn't matter what approach or system you use. These 4 steps and principles will totally work to bring you kind of success and progress. So if you're a paper and planner person like April is, or if you like digital notes and apps like I do, or even a mixture, a hybrid of the two, that's totally fine. We'll show you how to use these 4 steps to get great success and great results. Like April said, though, I love Evernote. It's an amazing digital note app, kind of a digital filing cabinet. And they have a great basic free version that will do everything we're talking about today and so much more. Like April said, I actually keep all 3 of these lists that we've taught today in one single note. At the very bottom of the note, I actually keep that future projects list, that brainstorm of all the projects I want to get to someday. And I keep it clear at the bottom of the note because it's something I don't look at that often. It's just if a project pops into mind, I'll add it down there so it's in the holding tank. In the middle of the note is where I keep this second list we talked about in step 2, the current projects list. Those are those 8 or fewer projects we're working on this month with the brainstormed action steps under each one. That's where my Pez dispenser is holding those little pieces of candy that I can then go to get the next one and the next one as I finish the one ahead. And at the top of the note is where I keep this 3rd and final list that we're teaching about today. And this is the context-based next actions list. It's the very next action for each of the projects I'm working on and any single item action steps that need to get done over the course of the next week or so. So it really, really helps to organize, we've found, by context and not by category, like most of us have been taught all of our lives. Most of us have been taught to organize our action steps by home, school, work, community, church, but that doesn't make a lot of sense because that's where the task came from. It's not where we'll need to be in order to get the task done. Context is where the rubber really hits the road. So if 10 or 15 minutes opens up in your day and it's relatively quiet and you have a phone or computer with you, you're going to know exactly what phone calls to make or exactly what computer work to get done without being distracted by the internet. If 20 or 30 minutes opens up and you're at home, you're going to focus on the home items and get those done, maybe even involving someone around to help you out with that. I love thinking of this next actions list as a choice list, not as a to-do list. Because in my mind, a to-do list is long, disorganized, overwhelming, and then we feel guilty if we don't get everything done on it during the day. A next actions list really is a choice list we're working from selectively over the course of a week or so. It's flexible. It's how we're going to choose to use the time that we've either set aside or that pops up unexpectedly during busy days and weeks to be able to use that time to our greatest advantage to move our projects ahead. And I promise, even the busiest among us in the class today have little windows of time that pop up unexpectedly. This context-based next actions list, this choice list, can really help make the most of that time. Let me just give you a quick example of how this has worked in my life. So we have a son who practices basketball with his team across town for about an hour and a half each week. One day I dropped him off at the practice and I pulled up this note on my phone in the parking lot. And I saw that I had 3 errands that I could run while I was over in that part of town. And I thought, great, I'll take advantage of the hour and the free time and being over here to get this done. But because I had my actions organized like this, by context, I could see that I had 4 phone calls that I needed to make. They were all related to other projects I was working on that month, but all those people would be available during that time of day. So I thought, great, I'll put in my earpiece, drive safely around running these 3 errands while I make the 4 phone calls. And I was able to do that. I made it back to my son's practice with about 20 minutes to spare so I could watch him finish up and hang out with him and talk with him on the drive home. But I'd also been able to accomplish these 7 action steps that had been on my list with that found hour of time that had popped up. And just to conclude, I'll say that of all 4 of the steps we're teaching today, this 3rd step, the idea of working on our projects from a context-based next actions list, has been the biggest game changer for me personally because it's allowed me to get so much more done, to achieve my projects much more quickly, but I've been able to do it without having to invest any more time or energy into the process. It's simply making a better and more focused use of the time and energy that's already there.
So this is one list created or updated per week that includes tasks for the projects you're working on that week. So if you're doing, let's say, 6 projects for the month, but this week you're just focusing on 2, you only write the 2 next actions for those projects on this list. Now this can also include extra 1-step tasks. One of the errands that Eric had on his list was getting a prescription from the pharmacy. That wasn't related to a project, but it was something he needed to do while he was out running errands. So you can just throw it on the list and have that be there in the context. Now, what's beautiful about this list is that they are not calendar specific. So if I don't get a chance to look at this list during the day because it's just crazy busy, it's okay. Nothing's going to expire. But if there are some things on the list that are flexible but do have some kind of a deadline, like let's say I needed to get that prescription at least by next Friday, then I create a little calendar trigger to remind me so it doesn't slip through the cracks. That way, this list is total relief and it doesn't cause any stress. So I want you to just type in the text chat where you will be when you're doing your next action. So, you're 10 minutes doing blank. Where is that? Is that something you're going to be doing from home? Is it an errand? Is it a computer task? Or if you have an office or a classroom where you work, you could say at the office or at the classroom. Okay, so we're saying a lot of home office, errands, lunch hour. Okay, awesome. I love this. Okay, now we're going to go into step 4, where we're going to help you to understand the 4 key decision-making criteria. Now, when we wake up in the morning, we want to at least first check our calendars just to know, hey, do I have an early morning meeting? Do I have an event tonight? What do I need to be wearing? What are we doing for dinner? Just so you can kind of look at the day and see what has to be done. But then we work from context. So while our kids are at school, we do our computer tasks. When they come home from school, we shift to our home tasks. When we're running errands, we shift to our errands. That way you're just naturally accomplishing things as you move throughout the day. You look at the time and energy that you have available as you're making those decisions, because if you have 5 hours and tons of energy, you're going to make a different choice than if you have 10 minutes and you're feeling really tired. And the reason why priority is last is because if 2 or 3 things are competing, you just have to say, okay, which one is the most important? Now we're going to do our quick review of what we covered today. These are the 4 steps that all of us can apply right away, and I'm going to share them with you. Just simple. I want you thinking, yes, I could do this today. So step 1, remember, it was make a current projects list organized by me, my family, and beyond, and I'd recommend no more than 7 or 8 total projects for the month. Then you effectively identify a next action for each one, so you couldn't possibly procrastinate, even if you tried. Then you create a context-based to-do list. And here's my paper one on the left. It looks very much like that, and I even color code it, and I keep it super short. Or you could do it digitally. And then you work from context, time, energy, and priority. Now, I know we've given you a lot, so we'll send you a replay, and we'll send you the slides, so you'll have all that. But our question is not if you have all of this memorized. Our question is this: do you feel hopeful? Do you feel like there's at least a light at the end of the tunnel, even a faint light, to go from feeling overwhelmed by your project to thinking, you know what, I could at least start moving forward? Okay, yes, 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 absolutely, yes, a little bit, I'm getting it, absolutely, I could do one thing. Okay, I love this. Now, for some of you, this is going to be all that you're going to need from us today. That's totally fine. Eric and I have worked very hard to make sure this is a standalone class. Anybody can come, learn the 4 steps, and go get rid of any pile. But some of you are going to say, I want more mental clarity. I want to hire you to be my coaches. I would like to join a paid program. I want to work with you at a deeper level and learn how to build the whole Command Central. Now, if that is you, we would be privileged to work with you. And our program is called Steps to Everyday Productivity. And I know everyone's different, so we have a self-study and we have a mastery, and I'll show you the difference and how they work. But I want you just to ask yourself how long you think it takes to get organized. Because what I most often hear is, forever, the rest of my life, infinity. But what if I told you that in 2 weeks, about 15 to 20 hours, totally self-paced, you could go through these 8 modules, which we call the path out of the drowning, and you could have your functional Command Central up and running to help you get rid of every pile in your life.
Now, I kind of like to give April a little bit of a hard time at this point, because how many of you out in the class today, hearing her make that claim that she could help you build this system, get your Command Central up and running in a couple of weeks, just 10 to 20 hours, think she's absolutely crazy? She is up in the night. She is bonkers. You just can raise your hand here in the Zoom room if you want. Or please type in the text chat your most creative and clever way of telling someone they're cray-cray, loca, out in left field. You just let her know.
You guys are so funny. Okay, and I totally get it, because I would have been skeptical too, but I'm just going to walk you through and show you what it looks like. But here's the thing. If you wanted to hire a professional organizer, you totally could. But if you've ever priced that, it's literally thousands of dollars to have someone come in and do it for you. I also think of it like you can give a man a fish or teach a man to fish. When you come into this program, it's like we're teaching you how to be your own organizer so that you can maintain the things that you are going to organize. We're going to show you how you could start today in our program for our first payment of less than $67. And we also have this philosophy that your piles want to pay for themselves to go away. I can't tell you how many times people are finding cash and gift cards and checks they forgot to cash inside of their piles, because we think that your piles don't want to be there any more than you want them there. So we think that the money is actually going to come from the piles, and we'll show you a little bit more about that. But let me just walk you through the 8 modules just so you can see if this is a good fit. So module 1, we help you make time and just create space. This was my very first Command Central. I didn't have a desk, and I didn't even have an office. I had a card table in the corner of my bedroom. Your Command Central is a specific place for you to work. It's not for your family. We're going to show you what you're going to do to help your family, because it's definitely important for them to be on board. But this Command Central is a place where you get to sit down, you get to think, you get to process, and you get to put together your plan for the week, update your lists, and actually have time to really focus on what you've done in the past and what you're going to do moving forward. So in this module, we just help you decide where you're going to locate it and clear that space. Then we go to module 2, where we help you get your emails to 0. Now, if you already have them at 0, you know how awesome that feels. If you don't have them at 0, it's a simple series of filters and rules, and you can do it in about 90 minutes or less.
Yeah, just ask the question in the text chat. If you want, you can share the number of emails that you have, read or unread, across all the email accounts you have responsibility for. There's no shame, no guilt, no embarrassment here at all. No one's judging you. You're going to find you're not the only one in the tens of thousands, or maybe even the hundreds of thousands category. To be honest, April helped me with this about 5 years ago. I had over 100,000 emails in my account. And in 3 hours, we had that inbox empty, down to 0, not with any mass delete, but just archiving, sorting, filtering, and tagging. Simple things she'll show you how to do. You still have access to all of your old emails, but then my inbox was a clean, clear place I looked forward to using to communicate, and it was no longer the sea of emails that had to-dos, action items, and gotchas hiding from me in.
I'm seeing a whole lot of thousands. And honestly, we can help you get these down and keep them at 0 so it doesn't feel overwhelming anymore. And then we go to module 3 and help you just collect tools. We're going to show you the kinds of things that you might want on your desk, on your Command Central to keep you organized. We'll give you a little checklist, and you can use things that you already have, but most likely you've already got everything that you need. You just need to know how to put it together. And that's what we do in module 4. We help you create the system. It's like a Lego instruction manual for the Command Central. We're going to teach you how to label your current project support materials. We're going to teach you about your routines list, how to make it awesome. We're going to help you with your someday and your incubation and getting that inbox going. And we'll show you paper and digital options. Then we go to module 5, where we help you gather your stuff. Now, I want you to type FSD for flat surface disease if right now you have every flat surface in your home or office just covered with stuff, because you're terrified that if you put it away that you wouldn't remember to do it. So instead, you just have all the stuff all over the place. Okay, I see a lot of people struggling with flat surface disease, and I was the exact same way. So what we're going to do is solve that once and for all. We're going to gather all your stuff. We're going to do a mind sweep, get everything out of your head. Then we go to module 6 to become a master at processing. Now, this flow chart is like driver training for your Command Central. I don't need to get out the flow chart now every time I process, just like you don't need to get out your driver manual every time you get in your car. But this flow chart is what teaches you how to bring a flow to your life in general. You're going to see that every idea, task, paper, project, everything that's in your piles actually has a landing spot in your Command Central. The reason why the piles do not come back with the system is because the piles never start to begin with. You know exactly where things go the moment you get them. And it doesn't matter if you don't have time to deal with it right then. You have your machine that's going to hold it until the appropriate time. And then we go to module 7 to help you schedule your weekly review. Now, I know that you need short-term success. I get it. But I want you to type LT in the text chat if you're looking for a long-term solution as opposed to only a short-term fix. Because if you really just want a short-term fix, you can just have a big bonfire in your driveway.
Little safety disclaimer, we're encouraging no one to light a fire anywhere, anytime, for any reason. Thank you.
Yeah, I see a lot of people that are wanting long-term because that's really what's going to make the difference. I built my Command Central nearly a decade ago. I've never had to rebuild it because the system just continues to work, even with our business and our family and all the stuff that life brings. So we're going to teach you how to do a weekly review, help you to get this in place. And if you miss a week or two, it's fine. You can come back. But we teach you how you're going to save hours and hours every week by getting totally streamlined. And then we go to module 8, which is our favorite. And this is where we help you complete projects and dreams. Now, here's the thing. Clearly, I want you to hire us. I want to be your coach. I want you to invest in yourself, come join the program, build a Command Central. I have this dream of a Command Central on every desk. But hypothetically speaking, let's say you did hire us. What would you want us to help you do to help other people? Now, I did a couple screenshots or a few screenshots from some past classes, and here's what people have said. Things like more margin and space, dream again, write my book, get my nonprofit going, let my kids invite their friends over more often. But I would love for you to type in the text chat. What's something you feel you are uniquely meant to do, but you can never get to it because you're so overwhelmed by the stuff?
And this is honestly one of our very favorite part of the class. We love getting this 8th and final module because this is the reason why we're doing it, right? We hope that everyone will take the 4 steps that we've taught today and put them into practice starting today to get amazing results. And many of you will want to use these 8 modules to be able to build this system. But we're not doing these things so we can become email ninjas and master processors and amazing project managers. Yes, all those things will come as awesome side benefits, but the real reason why we're doing this is so that we can streamline our lives and have more time, energy, and margin to focus on the things that we value most. And by things, we mean the people, the relationships, and the causes that are most important to us. And I love what we're already seeing coming into the text chat. I would encourage you, if you're sharing, make sure it's going to all panelists and attendees so you can actually be able to inspire others in the class who might be doubting themselves as you're making that resolution more concrete for yourselves. But I love this because you see people just taking these 60 seconds to reflect inward, which is something we don't do often enough as humans, to reconnect with that mission, that purpose, that passion, that ministry, however you like to think about it. Because if we can help you build this system that you can maintain in an hour or less a week, but it gives you 40 to 60 hours a month back, what would you use that time to do? How would you use the talents, gifts, and abilities that you've been given to be able to be of greater service, to lift and inspire others, or to be able to find greater self-fulfillment or self-expression? I love this part of the class when we see come pouring into the text chat, because you see people reconnecting with this amazing human potential they have that has been stored away or chained up for far too long, and it's time to let it out.
Okay, I'm loving what we're seeing here. And honestly, as I'm reading each of your beautiful dreams, I'm thinking, I know 100% we can help you to get there faster. Not only because we've done it ourselves, but we've helped thousands of people to do it already. I also know that a formal program might feel a little overwhelming to you. If you're like, I just don't have time, or I have tried before and it hasn't worked. But the thing is, if you have tried before, I'm guessing that you never actually set up the full Command Central, which is what we're going to help you to do inside the program. We're going to give you worksheets and audios and videos. We take you behind the scenes. We show you how to make it happen. So those 8 modules I've just shown you, that's the self-study. I'm going to show you how Mastery is additional support so that if one of these programs does feel like the right fit, you'll know which one. We're going to send you this comparison chart, and it will be on the Join page as well, so you don't have to memorize it right now. Both programs have the 8 modules and the basic instructions, but Mastery goes deeper, and I'm going to show you how that works. So Mastery includes an all-access license for a spouse, the Facebook groups where we have one for home and family and one for professional work, which is really fun, so that you can come in and you can talk to other people and you can talk about what they're doing and what solutions are working best for them. I love this one. This woman wanted to craft more. Look at this room. I mean, it had been a pile, but look what she was able to create. When you have your Command Central built and you start showing people what you're doing, you get to inspire other people who had been living in piles, but who are now getting out because they have you there as part of the community. We love being able to bring you into this community, help you, give you support, and be able to create a party. I think of it as such a party that's happening online every day. And it's so fun. Our Facebook feed looks like this every day. It's awesome. Okay, now we're going to go and explain a little bit more about the difference with Mastery. There's supportive coaching emails to help you with some mindset shifts. And then we have 3 live group coaching calls where it's a class where you get to come on, ask as many questions as you want. And if you can't make it to the live class, that's okay. You submit your questions in advance. We give you the time-stamped recordings and lifetime access inside your membership. Now, I just want to share a little bit about our library. I don't want to overwhelm you because I want you to think of it like a public library. But our STEP library is only available with Mastery, and it's a treasure trove. I'm going to show you a few things that are included. Now, Create Your Day is included with the Mastery STEP library, but all of you get this today as your special gift. So it's a template and an audio showing you your day is about relationships and who you're becoming, not just about what we're checking off the task list. So that's your gift coming by email. Now, I'll show you a few things that are exclusive to the library, like Evernote tips for STEP success. A lot of people want to use Evernote more in their personal life and their business. We're going to show you how to do it. We've even pre-built the templates for you so you can just save them to your own account. And building a STEP system for kids. If you have children and you're thinking, oh, I would love it if I could help them to be organized and have them help more around the house, we're going to show you how to set up routines, what to do with all the kids' papers, how to help them with projects and homework. The thing is, kids feel stressed too. They just don't know how to articulate it. But you can help to nip that in the bud and help them while they're young so they don't have that problem when they get older. And here's one more I'll share from the STEP library. It's a 7-step plan to organize the home and office. This is going to help you see what the best decluttering books have to say to help you to get super organized. We've got it all spelled out step by step, even with a planning template to help you do it. So this is that comparison chart again. You want to think about it. Hey, am I a self-study or am I a mastery? But one more thing I want to share today. If you would like to join the mastery program while you're on the webinar today, we're going to give you an additional self-study program for a friend. So if you want to come in while we're here on this class and you're going to join Mastery, where you already get access for your spouse, you can come in the Facebook group, you get those Q&A calls and that whole library, you get this self-study program for the accountability partner of your choice. Someone that you already know and love and trust who gets to come in and you can be their liaison into the Mastery Facebook groups and the Q&A calls so that you can help your friend who may need this as much as you do, or maybe even more than you do. Now, I understand there is an investment here, but think about the cost of being disorganized. Late fees on bills, late fees on library books, using extra gas because you're running around town. Also think about those benefits to the seamless system. If you weren't losing things, if you're able to set up the budget, if now you're feeling organized, could you start that new business? Could you get that new certification? And just thinking about how you'll feel about life. You're now getting back to those for me projects and you're waking up super excited and now you're achieving your dreams. This is what's happening inside of our community every day, which is why we're so excited to invite you in and have you be part of it. Now, you're welcome to ask any questions that you have. You can put questions into the chat. If this isn't the right fit for you right now, which it won't be for everyone, it's totally okay. Take the 4 steps that you learned today and go apply them. But now we're going to shift gears to help those who might be excited to come in and who are ready to come join Step Self-Study or Step Mastery. Now it's $67 to come into either program today. If you would like to do a single pay for Mastery, we're going to give you 6 months of live Q&A as opposed to the regular 3. And 3 is fine because remember, it's about 15 to 20 hours to get your Command Central built. But a lot of people love having 6 full months of a live Q&A. We sent you a link to your email. That's an expiring link that's good for the next 48 hours. So you don't have to decide right now. If you want to join right now, awesome, we'd love to have you. And if you want to join during this class, come into Mastery, either single pay or with payments, then you get the free self-study for a friend. So that's a $247 value, totally free, just for coming in during the class. Okay, so I'm going to help answer a few more questions, and Eric and I are going to help you just be able to decide if this is the right time for you. When you click the link that's in your email, it goes to a page that already has the discounts applied. So you don't have to type in a coupon code or anything. This is your expiring page. It's going to go for the next 48 hours, okay? So you can just click over and decide, do I want self-study? Do I want mastery? And then you can just select. Now, if you want to start with self-study and perhaps upgrade to mastery later, you totally can. There's a link and a coupon code at the bottom of your self-study homepage where you can go ahead and upgrade, but you save about $50 if you start with mastery, and you can downgrade within 60 days back to self-study. Now, if you're on the fence, Step Mastery just offers the best support. When you have the Facebook groups, you've got Q&A calls, you can bring in a spouse. We're going to teach your kids inside of the Step Library. We're basically building this cocoon around you so that you are totally supported as you're getting rid of these piles and going through this transformation, because this is kind of an exciting time for you, right? The first payment for either one is about the same. So if $67 is something that you think, okay, I'm willing to give this a try, come into Mastery. We give you immediate access. You can check out everything that Mastery offers. And then you have 60-day windows where you can downgrade back to self-study if you didn't need everything that Mastery had to offer. Plus, if you want to come into Mastery on this class, you'll be eligible for that free self-study for a friend, okay? So I'm going to show you some before and after photos. We're going to start welcoming people into the program. So excited to be able to have you with us. I just want you to know that we're here to take care of you. This program is life-changing, and we're going to help answer the questions that you might have, because I understand. You're like, but what if I've bought programs and I have them sitting on the shelves? Or what if I don't know what to do with my clutter? We're going to teach you how to do that inside of the program. And this program essentially is going to unlock any other program you've purchased in the past, because we're going to give you a foundation that you can use to order your life, get organized, and be able to move forward. So we're super excited and would love to work with you. Okay, I already see some questions coming in. Eric, do you want to answer some of them out loud, or you want me just to share some testimonials? Okay, Eric's just working over there helping answer the questions. So I'm just going to show you a few more before and afters and just give you this vision and show you what's happening inside the program. Like this one here, not that disorganized, right? But look at the difference in how it feels here, the order, the simplicity, things getting locked into place. If you're already pretty organized, this program will probably be even more powerful for you because it's going to be easy. You've already got really great habits you're building on. But if you have never been organized and you feel like, oh, I'm totally starting from the beginning, that's okay, because we're teaching you step by step exactly what you need in order to get started. This one I love that was posted because I didn't even notice the mural that her husband had painted or drawn here on the wall. But once that clutter was removed, it was like, the beauty in life just was apparent, came back, which is exciting. We're watching these photos popping up every day, and people are emailing us consistently saying, I can't even tell you, I can breathe again, I can move again, I feel like I can find what I need. It's amazing.
Okay, I got to dive in and start welcoming in people because all kinds of people are starting to come in, excited to get the mastery, to get that free self-study we're offering as part of today's class. So we want to make sure we welcome and acknowledge each of those people coming in. Just to clarify, so with your registration with the class, each of you will also be getting a follow-up email that has the link to come over and review and purchase the program if you're interested. So that email should have gone out just shortly ago. So just check your inbox. If it's not there for whatever reason, then the link that's here on the screen, we're putting the text chat, it'll be on the screen as well. Just go ahead and use that link, either click it if it's hyperlinked or copy and paste it into your browser, and you can come right over to the information and invitational page. It has the exact same information the email had, and you can use that to come in and get the discounted price we're offering and all the bonuses and resources that April's mentioned as part of the program that would be the best fit for you. So we've got so many people so excited to come in, so I need to make sure I'm welcoming them in. And I want to jump over and do that right now so I'm not delaying anybody.
Okay.
Want to welcome in, let's see, we've got Carla S., we've got Ronald F., we've got Tamra W., Sharon G., Susan S., and Michael K. So we are so excited to welcome all 5 of you. It looks like all 5 of them have come into Mastery. So those are the first 5 in the door, our most newly minted STEP members. We are so excited to have each of you with us. And yeah, you're going to be getting the Mastery program with all of its resources and bonuses. And that's full access for you and a spouse. And that's lifetime access. Some people are asking in the text chat, is it lifetime access to these programs? Is it self-paced? Absolutely. We self-pace it so no one is ever behind. And you have lifetime access to all the program resources, the materials, and if you're in Step Mastery, you'll be able to get access to that Step Mastery Facebook group, the groups that we have there, and be able to have full access to those communities to kind of have that encouragement, support, best practices, and some of that mentoring going on. And like April said, we want to just make sure it's really clear. We have some people on the fence, like, which one do I do, Mastery or self-study? I would encourage people who are listening to the class today, if you're on the fence, come into Mastery, and here's why. Because we offer that payment plan that allows you to make the payments over 6 months for Mastery or 3 months for self-study. The monthly payment amount comes out to be about the same. It's about $67 for either the program per month. And because we offer this 60-day money-back guarantee, you have this 2-month risk-free window to come into either program with the same financial impact, right? $67 a month for those first 2 months as you're going through. I would come into the fuller, more robust program where there are more resources, a community there to support you. We have about 90 to 95% of our customers come into Mastery and they love it. They love the community, they love the support and the resources. And then at the end of the 60 days, you can decide if you wanted to downgrade or to refund, you have that option. We have very few people who ever downgrade because they love that community and the additional resources. And we have a lower than 2% refund rate from either program from the people who come in and put it to work, because April has done a beautiful job building a very simple, very visual, step-by-step program. Everything's built in microbursts. We know that the people we're trying to serve are overwhelmed. They feel like they're drowning. Every step you can do in 5 to 10 minutes. So over the first 2 to 4 weeks, you're just putting in a little bit of time, maybe 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there, and you will build this whole system that then once it's built can be maintained in an hour or less a week. So we encourage people, come into the Mastery program where we're best able to serve you, kind of where the party's at, and let us be able to help transform the situation you're in to be able to move forward and get the results and the success that you want.
Okay, some great questions are coming in about time and a lot of excitement. People coming in the program, super excited. Some people were needing the link and things like that, so
Okay.
I put that in again, and people are on their phones, but so excited for you to join. Okay, if you're wondering how much time is this going to take, building the entire Command Central is about 15 to 20 hours total. Now, the program contents are just a few hours broken up into 10-minute microbursts. It's super simple. So you don't have to have all this time. It can be 10 minutes at a time, but every 10 minutes that you invest in this program, you're going to get 10 times that back. This is from Jill. Now, when she posted this, we totally thought it was just a Pinterest picture. This is her actual kitchen. Now she has her inbox on there. But think about it. When she has papers all over her kitchen counter, how many hours a week is she spending digging through things, looking for things? I mean, how much time are you spending right now feeling lost, feeling like you need to procrastinate, feeling like, oh, I can't find things? If you take all that time and now you devote that to organizing and building a Command Central, it's amazing.
Well, I love a comment that just came in. So I'm considering how many hours I spend looking for something we've lost or managing the mess per week. In only the first month, I would make back my
Seriously.
investment.
I know. It's
I love
amazing.
that comment. It's a perfect perspective.
And the thing is, and I love this, I'm just like, okay, great, I'm invested, just signed up. I want to be in the fast-tracked organization. I love that. Super excited for you.
Okay, I got to welcome in some more people. We got a lot of people, and again,
So excited.
that fast action bonus that we're offering to get that free self-study for a friend, we're offering that through the class today. We'll stay on for the next few minutes, maybe 10 or 15 minutes, to answer questions, be able to help people out and give clarity there. But anyone who's coming in during this live class that we're offering, we are offering the option of a free self-study for a friend with the Mastery program. So we've got a bunch more people who've just come into the Mastery. Holy cow. So I need to welcome in Sharon R., Laura B., Gail O., Kimberly J., Brian M., Tamara L., Rabina S., and KS. Holy cow. We are so excited and grateful to be able to work with you. Look forward to get to know you in the Mastery Facebook group. It is an amazing community of over 5,000 people who become really good at this just in a few months, helping and supporting, encouraging, and pulling each other along. It is an incredible community, so we look forward to getting to know you in there.
Okay, a lot of people are asking about the link. They're trying to get it. I just put it in again for you, Kim. She was trying to. If you just go look at that, try that again or copy that. And I love the questions coming in. Also, I'm just showing you on the screen this before picture. This was posted in our Facebook group. Look at the after. I mean, transformation, right? And now that you've gone through the class, you can see here's the current projects list. Organized pantry, organized office. They both have their check. Now cleaning and organized bathroom shelves. Of course it's going to happen because now there's a system to support them. So I show you all these photos and I'll show you some more testimonials and things coming in because this is what's happening every day. Now, a question was coming in saying, seems like this is really about changing a mindset. Can you help with spouses too? Okay, 100%. But I'll share with you what not to say, what to say. You don't want to say, hey, honey, I just got this program that's going to change you. It's going to fix all your problems. You don't want to say that. What you want to do is you're going to come in and you're going to apply it to you and not say a thing about your spouse. But then what's going to happen is your spouse is going to be like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And I'll show you some examples of what people have said in the past and what's happened. But because you are going to be relaxed, you're going to be getting more done, you're going to be happier, you're going to be feeling like, oh, I'm finally on my game. Your spouse, there's no way your spouse won't be able to notice what's happening. Your influence is going to start helping your children, your whole family. It's awesome.
Well, I'll just speak to that for a few moments. I know earlier in the class we had some people asking the comments in the text chat, how do you do this? The only way this would work is if the whole family's on board, if a spouse is on board. We totally hear you, we agree, but you can. I promise you can make a huge amount of difference just you getting your own system built and having that influence and effect in your own life. And it's what we call the radiation principle. Once you actually get this happening, it's going to reach out and have an influence on your spouse, on your children. They may not do everything immediately just like you're doing it, but they're definitely going to be adopting best practices, good habits, and simple systems they see you putting in place with the support of this group. I'll be honest, that's how April got me. I mean, I'm generally organized, but she's far more interested in this and able to do this. But as she's built this system literally to solve her own pain points 10 years ago, to be able to get more personal and professional achievement, I mean, she built this for herself and then took the principles and started sharing with other people. But as I've watched her do these things over the past 10 years, I've adopted a lot of her best practices and made them my own. Now, I probably do step about 75 to 80%. I don't do it exactly the way she does it. I don't do it perfectly, But I will say that as this has happened little by little over time, it has definitely improved the quality of how we work and live together, our planning, our communication. And again, we don't say it's some secret sauce or magic wand, but it definitely is a tool that as you start to implement it, it's going to radiate out and affect so many more people beyond yourself. In fact, someone else earlier actually talked about wanting to be able to influence their children who are students or homeschool. We absolutely agree. We think that the STEP program, as you implement it in your life, we want it to be, and it should be, a multi-generational change. We want this affecting your grandchildren for the better, right? And even if you don't have grandchildren yet, we want this to reach that far in time, because many of us didn't get these skills or abilities as we grow up, either in our homes or our educational system. But I will promise you, it's never too late to learn these skills and abilities, put them into practice for our own benefit and for those around us. So we hope that kind of helps give that perspective of how you can really make this change and make it stick in your life and the lives of others.
Okay, there's a lot of great questions coming in, and I'm really, really excited for you. I think you need to welcome some more people.
I probably need to do my
There's
job,
a lot of
right?
people coming in, which is awesome. Okay, so people saying I want to teach my daughters this, especially my high schooler and my homeschooler. 100%. And the thing is, as you get your system put together, you're going to start helping your kids know what that flow is, right? When they come into, it's going to be fantastic.
Absolutely. So I want to welcome in Susan M., Helen B., Heather T., Judith P., Wendy P., Holly W., and Todd S. Welcome to each of you. It looks like every single one of you is coming to Mastery. A few of you are coming in on single pay, a few of you on full payment. Either way you come in, you totally qualify for that free self-study for a friend. And those who are choosing to single pay, we have a little bit of a perk there where you can get 6 months of the live Q&A call access above the standard 3 that we offer with Mastery. The Q&A calls are just awesome calls where we answer pre-submitted and live submitted questions. It's a great onboarding tool. So 3 months is more than enough to get fully integrated into Mastery, but they're just really fun hour-long calls that we do once a month. So for those who can and want to single pay for the program, we're offering that additional bonus of getting 6 months of those call access. Just a lot of fun. And a lot of you are kind of saying, I've already got in mind who I want to share my self-study with. That's awesome. Be thinking about someone who will be committed to and engaged to the simple process of going through the 8 modules quickly and well to build that command central. And the 2 of you are going to become almost accountability support partners. People have gotten really excited as we've offered this bonus over time to bring in someone that they know, trust, and love, that they can work with and encourage each other on the days and times that are a little bit more difficult in life, but to celebrate your successes, to have someone to hold you accountable and help both of you get these amazing results and this transformative outcome.
Okay, I'm loving this. So many great questions coming. Okay, there's a question that came from Sheila. It says, I'm going away for a week on business. I'm not sure if it's a good time. What's the calendar stuff for this? Okay. This is a totally flexible program. The only thing that's calendar specific are the Q&A calls, but you can start those anytime within the first 3 months of the program. So what I would recommend is if you feel like, oh, this is the right fit, I totally want to do it, I would come in now and lock in the best pricing and bonuses, because our pricing and bonuses do change. But then you can start your Q&A calls whenever you would like. We have some people who just want to start Q&A calls right away, and so that's fine. So you can just click the little link that's inside your Master Resources, which I'll show you in a second, and you can join now and start getting those, or you can wait and do those a little bit later. But just coming into the Facebook groups and just having access to our introductory emails and just even going into the program, it's going to give you things to be thinking about and using your time while you travel even more effectively. Eric and I travel for work, going to conferences and things like that. This is the system that I use while I'm out as well. And then there's some questions coming in where, yes, people are like, oh, I get it. It's a budgeting thing. Totally understand. Let me just share how this can help your bottom line. So I've had this appear on the screen from Shelly, but she's like, okay, noted on my calendar, I need to pay credit card payments. Now I'm checking my calendar. So they got paid on time, score no late fees. Then she says, I came back on Facebook just to say that STEP has caused me to dodge another financial bullet. She shares a story and she says, so far, I've caught over $365 of leakage because I'm keeping my inboxes clean. That's where Eric and I really honestly believe that your piles are going to pay for themselves to go away. Because not only are you not going to have your late fees and you're not going to worry about, oh, I lost that thing, now I have to buy it again. But then once you have that clear space, I can't tell you how many people say things like, now I can start my business. I just got this job because the employer said I was the most organized, or now I can actually go get a better job, or now I can actually start thinking of things that would really replenish me again. This is one example from Cheryl where she came in. She'd been processing a bunch of stuff. She says, that was Thursday night. Friday night, my husband says he's been thinking He's seen me create a command center and he would like one too, because he sees how productive she is. And this was her command center. What I love about this is it's not complicated. It's a little card table and a chair in a corner of an office. She didn't even have the whole office to herself. It was just a little corner. But because now she has a system and she has a plan and she has step-by-step processes to go through, her whole family can see it. This is our son, Spencer, and he needed to organize his room. We just moved a few months ago. He's like, Mom, your step system really works. It has changed my life, because he didn't know how to organize. He just had stuff all over. But once we got his room clean, he actually wanted to be in there. He wanted to have quiet time in his room. He wanted to be able to be creative and think. And this is what's happening with our kids, which is why Eric and I are so incredibly excited about this. I mean, this is a school teacher, Claire. She's like, all right, I didn't take a before picture because you couldn't walk in. I inherited the mess 2 years ago. So for 2 years, Claire has been teaching her class and then having nowhere to retreat because it was so full. She and her daughter did this in 5.5 hours, which is amazing, right? And if you're thinking, okay, well, 5.5 hours, why did she sit there for 2 years if it didn't take very long? It's because she felt overwhelmed. She didn't know where to begin. She didn't know how to even get started because it just felt like it was too much. Now, I had this up on the screen before, but I didn't comment on it. I just want to share from Sylvia. Sylvia posted this in our Facebook group, and she says, okay, I'm beginning to feel great accomplishment. She shares what she bought, and essentially it's everything here that had not existed prior to the program. But now she says, I've processed about 10 or so boxes. Now, this isn't 10 or so things, it's boxes that she's processing. So when she brings up that 11th box to process, she has no doubt she's going to be able to do it because everything has a landing spot. That's what finally helped me feel relief, because I had so much in limbo, like, oh, I got to work on this. Oh, I don't want to forget that. So I had things laid out everywhere so that I wouldn't forget. This system puts it into your calendar and your list and brings things back at the appropriate time. So your brain not only knows where things are, but your brain trusts that that information will come back to you the moment you need it. I don't even spend 1 minute a day looking for things because I know where everything is. And then it's amazing because she says, I love this little command center and I can see light at the end of the tunnel that has been my life for the past 20 plus years, which is amazing, right? That's what we want for you as well.
Okay, I got to welcome in some more amazing people. A lot of people just so excited to come in. They want to get the master. They totally want the self-study before we sign off the class. So I think every person so far today has chosen master. They want the community, the self-study that comes with it. So we are so excited and grateful. I think I left off with Holly W. So if not, welcome Holly. I also want to welcome in Giovanna D, Stephanie M, Kim K, Sylvia S, Cindy V, Misty H, Jeff B, and Elizabeth B. So welcome each of you to the Step Mastery program. You are going to love it. We cannot wait to get to know you in the Step Mastery Facebook groups. It is so exciting to hear people's success stories literally in the days and weeks ahead. As they start this program, we literally have set up the modules so you get some really quick wins your first day or two into the program. And you can share those, come into the group, introduce yourself. If you have any questions or needs, ask those questions there. You're going to see this amazing community of Step Mastery members rally around you. They call themselves steppers.
I know, it's so cute.
So they will rally around you, welcome you in, offer any of their ideas or experience, and be able to just coach and guide and help each other literally move forward to the goals and the dreams that you guys have set for yourselves.
Okay, I love that. And we are so thrilled for you. I want to just explain a little bit more about the offer, because remember, you don't have to join right now. If you want to wait, you have the special link that we sent that's good for the next 48 hours. Eric and I don't believe in any high pressure sales. This is an invitation to come join an amazing community and change your life, but it won't be the right fit for everybody. But let me just share how this is set up. If you want to join right now while we're here on the class, self-study, it's the same if you join self-study now or if you join tomorrow or the next day, so totally fine. But if you just want to start self-study now, yeah, come on in. Mastery, if you want to join now, you not only get the best pricing, but you get the Step Library, which I'll explain more about in a minute, and you get that free self-study for a friend, which is an awesome way to be able to help somebody else. So that's if you want to join now. If you prefer to think about it, you've got 48 hours for this specific offer. This is still well worth what you'll pay. I mean, Eric and I invest in ourselves all the time. We buy programs, we hire coaches, we go to conferences. I mean, we invest a lot of money learning how to run our business, run our family, improve our health, because online learning is fantastic. You can do it wherever you are. And we have our system in place so that it becomes a current project. We've got our next actions in place and we actually apply what we learn. So if you want to wait, I mean, this is more of a $2,000 program, but we have it set up to be able to help you to come in either single pay or payments, where we don't charge anything extra for payments, because our goal is impact and we want you to be able to come in if this is something that you're excited about. So you can join at our discount pricing for the webinar through the next 48 hours. Now, if you want to just join at regular price, you can go to our homepage and you can join at regular price. This is still well worth what you'll pay. Now, the Mastery Library gets added after the 60-day money-back guarantee if you join at full price. So if you join right now and come into Mastery, you get the full library right away. If you want to wait and join, if you want to just pay full price and join later, the Mastery is just added after your 60-day window. So you still, the Mastery Library. So you still get it. It just will come 60 days later. So I just want to make sure we explain how the offer is set up so you'll just know which one you want. And the thing is, I've kind of gone all different directions depending on the program. Sometimes I see a program and I'm like, I don't know if that's exactly what I want. So I don't buy it right away. I think about it. And if I'm still thinking about it, then maybe I purchase before the deadline. But sometimes when I find a program and I think, oh, this totally speaks to my pain point, if it does what it says it's going to do, it's going to change my life, then I go ahead and I get the fast action bonuses and I go in and join, because then I'm like, well, what do I have to lose? Because I'm going to go make it happen. And here at Learn, Do, Become, we're here to support you and help you. We know that this program will change your life because that's what's happening every day. But we also want to make sure that we're respectful of where you are in this decision-making process so that you know, hey, if I need some time, totally okay with us. So we've set it up so hopefully you'll be able to feel that from us. Again, here's that comparison chart. This is also on the join page. If you are already pretty organized and you just want to know what we're doing and how the processing works, and you want the flow chart and you want to just get the nuts and bolts of it, self-study is probably all that you would need. But if you're excited about being in the community, where now when you go on social media, this group, honestly, it's inspiring. These are the nicest people that I have ever met. They're from all different backgrounds. People are different ages. I mean, it's just awesome. But they're all united in the fact that we're getting organized. Now, I want to share a little bit more about the STEP library, because this only is with Mastery, and then we'll be signing off in just a couple minutes. The library is a treasure trove. And it's actually has more in there than what I'm showing you right now. I just don't want you feeling overwhelmed, because you don't have to jump into the library. You're going to go into module 1, step 1, and start building your Command Central. But if you want to come in the library, now we're going to teach you about Evernote. We're going to help you with your kids. Eric and I have had a lot of experience planning together because we work together. We didn't always do it well. And so we'll share what we've learned. But now when we plan together, we get each other and we're like, all right, here's what's going to help us create that structure so we can move forward. And things like the 7-step plan to organize the home and office, that's going to help you. If you just don't know how to make decisions on things, you don't know how to declutter, and you're thinking, can you just help me to be able to do this? Now, if you own a business, we have a lot of people who do choose to put this on a business credit card. We're not giving tax advice, so you need to make that decision on your own. But if you have a spouse that owns a business, and perhaps you might want to do this together and put it on that business card. We've also had employers who say, hey, I'll pay for half, or I'll reimburse you, or I actually want to buy this for the whole team. We've had that too. So just something to think about. We run our business using this, because as I'm going to conferences and as Eric's going to conferences and we're learning new things and we have a million new ideas every day, we don't want to get sidetracked. We don't want to feel like we're always, squirreling all over the place. But now we know where to put the projects, how to prioritize, how to delegate. Our whole team runs on STEP. So when we have a team meeting, everyone is there the minute the meeting's supposed to start, because everyone's super organized. It's a thrill and a pleasure to be able to work inside a team where everyone has the methodology in place, and it's not hard. So super, super excited.
I got to welcome in some more people.
Okay.
People are like, am I in? Did I get it? Before we close off the class.
So excited.
And I want to welcome in quite a few more people coming in, all to the Mastery program. And again, we're excited about that because, self-study is a great program if you're more of a self-starter, do-it-yourselfer. The 8 modules are great, but people are like, for twice the price more at the discount. Most of the people in our community say it's probably worth 5 to 10 times what self-study is worth, as far as the resources, the additional materials, the live Q&A calls, in that Step Mastery Facebook group. It's just incredible. So I want to welcome in Lucinda B., Renee S., Jennifer M., Thomas W., Tricia C., D. Copening, Jennifer C., and Patricia L. Holy cow, you guys. Let me just do a quick refresh here, make sure I'm not missing out on anybody. I think, yeah, I've got them all so far. So welcome, congratulations, and we are so excited to have you with us. Very grateful for the trust that you've had in kind of finding us. We know that you've known us for less than a week or so. Maybe you found us through a podcast or a Facebook post, and you've come into this class, and you've known us for about an hour, hour and a half, but we appreciate the trust and the confidence that you have in us. We promise that we're here to take care of you as part of the Learn to Become community, as members of the STEP program. We hope it's really clear as well in the class that we're not here to pressure anybody. There's no expectation or requirement that anyone needs to buy a program with us. We do hope that everyone who's been part of the class will take these 4 steps that we've taught and this Create Your Day resource we'll be sending out as your free gift and put those into practice to get amazing results. Put down that as a foundation to move forward, because it's a standalone value and you can use it starting today. And we want everyone to get that benefit. But if, as you've heard April and I teach, it's a resonance, it can feel like this comfort level. I want to work with them. I want to learn with them. I want to be part of this group. I want to get these results that they've been talking about and have them stick in my life. Then we would love to welcome you into one of these 2-step programs, whatever's the right fit for you. But like we said, no pressure, no sales pitch here, no requirement to come in. We just want to have created a community and a resource that will be of help to the people to get the results that they really want. So we're just very grateful for the trust. We promise that you will be well taken care of inside of the Learn to Become and STEP communities. And it's just our privilege to be able to serve you.
Okay, so excited. So many good questions. I'm going to show you guys how to get started, what it looks like. Once you join, within about 5 to 7 minutes, you get your login, and then you can start exploring. Now, Module 1, Step 1 is where you're going to want to start. I'm going to show you how that works. You can see when the Q&A calls are. We do them once a month, and you can either start this month or you can wait. You could start anytime between now and 3 months from now, okay? If you don't start within 3 months from now, we just automatically start them for you, because our goal is to get you results, and those Q&A calls are awesome. You can also always access all the archived Q&As, which they're fantastic. We have timestamp recordings, so you don't have to watch the whole recording. You just look at the timestamps and you can say, oh, hey, this is where they answer this question, and you can just go right ahead and do that. I want to share just this beautiful testimonial that was published publicly on our website from somebody who came into Step Mastery. Here's what it says. Saying you changed my life sounds overdramatic, doesn't it? But you did. I've been married for 15 years, and my husband and I love each other very much, but I am a hoarder. Have been as long as I can remember. It has been a strain on our marriage, and even though I knew I needed to do something, nothing helped me. Not therapy or more money or more family support. I'd given up on my husband ever being able to invite his family over without being embarrassed. I don't know how your system of filing papers changed my way of thinking, and I don't know how that one clean desk turned into doing the dishes or emptying the trash or opening the dreaded bill envelopes and being able to sit down with my husband to create a budget. My son has never had friends come over. We aren't quite there yet, but I can see it in the future. I don't know exactly why your STEP program helped me change the way I see things. The biggest change has been my relationship with my husband. As I'm overcoming my hoarding tendencies, I feel more equal, like I'm finally becoming more of a helper and partner instead of a hindrance or embarrassment. There's less stress in the house, and I feel closer to my husband and son. I feel like I was drowning in my own chaos, and you helped me see the simplicity in things. I told you this would sound overdramatic. In 1,000 small ways you'll never know, you made me a better person. I need to say she made herself a better person. We were just there to help. And it all started when you told me my first homework assignment was to clear off a space. I felt I could trust you, so I did. Now, I love this. Not everybody in our community has felt that they had hoarding tendencies, but this woman is clearly an educated, compassionate, amazing woman who just didn't know what to do. She wanted to change, but she didn't know how. And when she learned how to build a command central, it's like all of the things she'd been stressing about, she realized, oh, this is totally possible. I mean, we're watching people each day coming into the program saying, oh my goodness, I'm now committed. This is hitting to the very center of my soul. I mean, this is not just a productivity class. This is learning how to actually bring order in a simple step-by-step way with a community. Now, we're not here to force you to join us. If that isn't valuable to you and you don't need that, no problem. But if you're tired of living in piles and if you want to get out and you just didn't know it was possible, then we want you to know we're here to help you and it is possible. Now, if you want to come back in a few months, if right now is not the right time, totally fine. We're not going anywhere. Our bonuses and pricing do change, and this is the best it will ever be, but we'll always make sure it's worth thousands more than what you pay. And the program is consistently, we're investing in it. We're adding new links, getting new downloads, making it easier and easier because we've had thousands of people go through the program. So we've had thousands of people already giving us feedback and saying, oh, hey, this would make it more clear, or can you add an extra video there? And we're there to help you and do that. But these are the kinds of messages that are showing up every single day for us. This one, like from Narissa, says, I just finished the online core step system. It's changed my life. I actually finished my very functional to-do list this week. What a relief. You're bringing hope with what you do. And then she says, thanks for creating a system to help people like me become good stewards. And that's how Eric and I think about it. We're here to help you become stewards in your lives because you have influence and you have capacity and you have experience that we do not have. But if we can help you to clear your piles, get out of the stuff and feel excited about your life again, then guess what? You can go into your homes, your families, your communities, and you can start making that influence happen from where you are. Like that's how change happens in the world. And that's why we're so grateful for the chance to be a part of this. Now I'm going to share how to get started. Is now a good time to do that, Eric?
I was going to say, I probably going to go over and do my job and welcome people. I've got a bunch of people saying, I just jumped in. I just came into the program. So excited. So I want to make sure they're welcome, to acknowledge there. Holy cow, we've got about 5 more people. And it looks like all of them, again, came into Mastery. So I want to welcome in Janelle Q, Caroline G, Kim W, Stacy F, and Daryl J.
Welcome!
Holy cow.
So
welcome,
excited,
everyone,
guys.
so far. Welcome to Step Mastery. You're going to love this program. You're going to love the results, and you're going to love the community. We are so excited and grateful to be able to work with you.
You guys are so fun. I love that. Okay, so let me just show you what it looks like when you get started. So once you join, within about 5 to 7 minutes, you receive your login. It has a auto login link. We even tell you where to store it so you won't lose it. And you'll see click here to get started. Now there's a checklist that we've created for you. Our most successful students, let me just tell you this from working with thousands of people, they print the checklist and they hang it at Command Central. I watch people start doing this, and these are the people who are like, results, results, results. So you need to have this and just print it. Now we have a digital option and an Evernote option. So if you prefer not to print it or you don't have ink in your printer right now, add that to your errands list to go get ink for your printer or on your computer list if you're gonna order it online. But it's fine, we have a digital list too. So I don't want that to stop you. As you can tell, we've learned like what makes people stop, and we're gonna help you get rid of all those. Okay, so you wanna have your Command Central. Now, if you just join Mastery, you have the opportunity to come into the Facebook group so that you can just click this link and we'll show you how to come join us. The Q&A call recordings, you have lifetime access to all the recordings. The classes where you get to submit your questions, that's if you do 3 months, if you did payments today, or 6 months if you do single pay. And then we'll share, hey, here's when the next one's happening. As long as they're activated, which you can like click if you want to activate, or they'll just do it in 3 months naturally. Then a week before the call, we send you a special form. You can submit photos, you can submit long lists of routines, you can submit anything that you need, like as detailed as you want, and you have a personal coach who's gonna go through and help you. Now again, the Facebook group is open 24 hours a day, and it's awesome. We have ambassadors in there, we've got coaches in there, we've got a whole community of thousands of people who are already building Command Centrals. Like all these pictures I've been showing you, those people are in the groups. So you can ask them questions, they're gonna be there to cheer you on. I mean, with that many thousands of people, if you have a question, you can just put it in the group, and honestly, within a few hours, typically all your questions are answered because the group is so helpful. I have never seen a group like this before that's so interested in the success of the people around them. Because you think of it, there's no competition. If everyone in the world is organized, that's only going to help you. That's not going to make things harder on you. So you have a vested interest in helping other people to be organized. And then we'll show you how you can add your spouse, the library's there. I'll just share how to give away your free self-study for a friend. And we'll be closing up in just a couple minutes. So if anyone's excited to join and you're thinking, oh, I just really want to do this, and the free self-study for a friend is a fun incentive and a fun way for you to have that accountability partner, we would love to have you. So when you log in to your Mastery program, it'll say free step self-study for a friend in the table of contents. There's a page describing how it works and a little link. You can only click the link once, because once you click it and you submit, then it disappears from your account. So you can just give it away once, but you can do it anytime you want. So you don't have to choose your friend right now. You can like go through the program a little bit, check around, make sure it's legitimate, which it is. So I want you to know that. And then when you're ready, you just say, okay, click that link, your friend's name and email, your name and email, press send. Then your friend gets his or her own login details. So you don't share yours, your friend has their own. And then you guys can do this together. Now, if you don't see a free self-study for a friend, but you just bought Mastery, you probably bought using a different email. This is really important. If you signed up for the webinar with like your spam email because you didn't know who we were and you didn't want to give us your email, we totally get it. And then if you bought using like a PayPal email or your legitimate email, that means we need to merge your accounts manually, which is fine. People do that all the time. So just go ahead and reply to any email that you've sent to us and say, okay, I trust you guys now. Can you please merge my 2 emails? And then we can do that. Or if you just have different accounts, that's fine. People often just have multiple accounts. So we'll merge your 2 accounts and then just let us know which one you want to be your primary one. That's really important because if you just give us one of your emails, we can't do it. But then you get to come in and you get to start meeting the people in the program. Like, okay, Samantha, she's been with us almost from the beginning. She's one of our ambassadors now. She says, I can guarantee if you actually go through the modules and do the tasks and come to us all when you have an issue, you will never feel any regret. And that's what we're happening. Like this photo was posted just after module 1. I mean, this is the kind of transformation that's happening just when people just come in the program. All of a sudden they're thinking, oh my gosh, I have hope, I can get out. And just on a personal level, like when I finally learned how this system was going to work and I could see in my head, like I could see the vision of not having piles anymore. I was in my pajamas the whole week and fed my family cereal for dinner because I was so excited.
And we were okay with that because the result that came from it was awesome. A little crazy at the time, but totally worth it.
Well, the thing is, I was desperate for that piece. And that's the thing too, is how you'll know if this is the right program for you. If you're okay with your piles, if you're like, yeah, I've got piles, but they're not that bad and I'm actually doing okay in life and I don't feel that anxious or stressed, like I'm fine, I would say don't join because I don't think the pain point's deep enough. And then you probably wouldn't even open the program because the piles, you're okay with them. But if you're drowning and you're thinking, I can't live like this anymore. Like I'm not even living. I'm treading water. I'm missing everything. It's costing me money. It's costing me my marriage or the peace at home. I'm not enjoying my kids. I don't enjoy my life. I'm stressed out. I'm in my shutdown mode. Like if that's you, I would say, you know what? Come in and let us help you to change that. And we really created such a safe way for you to come in where it's like, you know what? We're not here to try to hold you hostage. If the program does not work for you, that's fine. Like you don't have to stay in. But if you're thinking, I really want to get out and I feel hopeful for the first time like in years, then you're in good company and you're in the right place and we're here to support you. So I just want you guys to be able to make this decision that feels best to you. Eric and I are not trying to force anyone in. Our business is growing and doing great. We love our community. You don't have to come in if it's not the right fit, but please just know you don't have to live in that stress and in those piles anymore. You're waking up like sick to your stomach in the morning and you're just running throughout the day frantically and then you're crashing into bed feeling like you're failing. That's actually very normal, but it's optional. And I know when I say that, some of you might be like, it's not optional. You don't know my life. There's so much stress going on. And I just want to let you know, we've got a community and I mean, our lives as well. We don't share everything personal online, but we've had really hard things going on in our families in the past too. But it's this system that helps us to keep on top of the things that need to happen. Because when you have your command central in place, when you have a system, when you don't feel overwhelmed and you feel like, oh, I can totally do this, then you can focus your energy on your family. You can focus on building that marriage. You can be more sensitive to maybe feelings you receive from your higher power. You're going to feel like opportunities are now available to you because you have space in your mind. Like it's amazing to see what happens. And we feel privileged. We don't think of this as work. We think of this as our mission. Because when I wake up in the morning, I'm thinking, you know what? There are people out there who are drowning like I was for years. And while I need to move at a pace that's doable for me, so I can also enjoy my family and have a great life, I'm very passionate about this because I want to be able to help you. I want you to get results. I want you to get out of that. And I want you to feel the relief that we're hearing from the people who come through our community every day. Now, I understand it's an investment, and I think it's more the time and energy really than anything that you're thinking, yeah, if I'm going to put my trust into a program and I'm going to put the time and energy into it, make this investment, I want it to be worth that. But the thing is, what we're going to do for you, like I've never seen anybody go through the 8 modules and not be successful. I've seen some people who don't open the program, and I can't make someone open the program. But if you will open the modules and just go through and do the tasks, you will see that the piles are going to be gone and they won't come back. I mean, the emails I love the most are people say, okay, my office has been clean for 4 days. It's never been clean for 4 days. Or our house has been clean for 3 weeks. Never happened. We're actually considering opening up our home to a foster child now. I mean, people start saying things, their lives start opening because it's like this weird feeling. Emails are at 0 for weeks. Things are clean. Like the mess isn't coming back. And they actually think, I can keep this going. Like it's not that hard to keep it going. It's like this giddiness. And I just feel thrilled because that's how I live too. Now, does my life still have hard things in it? Oh, of course. But none of the hard things have to do with piles, right? I mean, yes, if just lost my mom to Alzheimer's, or we've got things that we're trying to help our children with. If some people have health problems that we love. I mean, there's stuff that's going on, but I don't have to worry about piles because those just are a non-issue. And that's what I want for you, is for the piles to be a non-issue. I know it looks like I help people to organize desks and offices, and I guess I do, but it's because of the mental clarity and because this unlocks all that potential that's waiting for you. Eric and I just believe it's time for you to do what you were meant to do. And we honestly don't believe that anybody was meant to dig through piles and feel like failures. And I know that's happening more often than not. And I know most people blame themselves for the piles, but it's just that you never learned what to do. And we're here to teach you what to do, step by step, where you can ask questions, you have support, you have a community. It's a living, breathing program. We're here to serve you. And you think about it, our success depends on your success. So we are deeply interested in getting you results because that's how our impact and our mission grows. So thank you guys.
Yeah, you guys are amazing.
So
we want to give you back your day, get you back to the things you need to get back into. But we want to welcome a few more people who've already come into the program. And again, like April said, the discounts and the offer that we have extends for the next 48 hours. So you've got some time to think about it. If you want to just step back and think about, is this the right fit for us? We totally understand that, want to support you in doing that. But for those who are really excited, want to come in while we're on the live class, we have like maybe 3 to 5 minutes left before we'll sign off, give you back today. And for those who want to be able to get that free self-study for a friend as part of Buying Mastery, while we're here in this live call, we're holding that out. We still have that option for you right now, but want to welcome in 3 or 4 more people who've just come into the program. So want to welcome in Christine K, Elizabeth B, Jean Ann K, and Chris S. So welcome each of you to the Step Mastery program. I think I've never seen this before. I think we've had every single person today coming into a program get really excited. They want the mastery program moreover than the self-study. And then maybe they want it because they want the free self-study for a friend. And that is going to be an amazing gift to someone that you care about, that you want to build this system together with. Be thoughtful and think about who it is that you want to give it to. You can give it to them anytime you want. We encourage doing it sooner than later so you can both build your system together. And I'd say this next part kind of tongue-in-cheek, but definitely as you give this gift to them, make this offer, figure out a way to ask them to take you out to a really nice place for lunch or for dinner as a way of saying thank you for the chance to work on this together and the transformations you guys will experience together. But we're just really excited to have each of you with us. We hope you'll share your and their stories inside the Facebook group. I was just going to say, like, my favorite part of the whole program is the Facebook group. And I'm not a big social media user, but I love going in that group, 3 or 4 times a week and just, commenting, adding a few things that I can maybe be helpful on. But also I love seeing the pictures, right? The before and afters, the transformational pictures are awesome to see, pretty amazing. But my favorite part of that group is hearing people sharing their stories, right? Earlier in the class, we talked about, what your For Me project would be that you'd love to get to, or what it is in Module 8 you'd love to finally have time to do, that mission, that purpose you feel you're called to. I love reading how people are having more confidence, more self-esteem inside that group. I love reading stories of how relationships are being strengthened, right? Marriage is getting stronger, families becoming more unified because they have a very simple process or system or some things going on that makes life easier. But my favorite stories are hearing about how people are finally achieving these goals, these dreams and ideas that they've had stored away for years or even decades. It's a pretty powerful thing. So excited for many of you wanting to come in. We hope you'll share your stories and the story of that friend you're bringing into self-study with you. Share their stories or some of their experiences inside the Facebook group, because it just makes for an amazing dynamic of people sharing and encouraging and inspiring others to do these amazing things in their lives. So excited, so grateful for each of you.
Yes, thank you so much. We're so glad to have you here with us at LearnDoBecome.com.